Call this meeting the Planning and Zoning Commission on December the 4th at 6:30. Order of events, Florence, do you want to take it? Oh, yeah, first off, we do have a quorum. We're missing two P&Z commissioners, Commissioner Boswell and Commissioner Hendricks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the format of tonight's hearing, for all items on the agenda, we'll start with a call to order, followed by a staff report, and then the applicant will have a presentation, and then we'll open it to the public for comments in support or opposition. At that time, please state your name and address for the record, and also be brief to the point within a 3-minute time frame. And then the commission and staff will have a discussion, and after that, the commission will vote to recommend approval as presented, approval with conditions, denial of the request, or tabling of the item. For the main agenda, on the consent agenda, we have excusing the absence of Commissioner Boswell, Commissioner Eisenberg, Commissioner Kuhn from the November 6, 2023 meeting. And then for item B, we have approval of the minutes from the November 26th meeting. And then we also have two preliminary plats. The first one is the preliminary plat of residences on the Parkway, located at the corner of Cullen and Fight Road. And then we also have the preliminary plat of Pearland Row Houses and Bungalows, popularly known as the Sullivan Brothers project, and this is south of Broadway Street and west of Galveston. And then under new business, we have one item. It's a plat variance. This is a variance from the minimum lot area in the residential estate district, and this is on Hill House Road. And back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, the first thing that we got to do is vote on the, we take a motion and a second for the consent agenda.
Commissioner McCatherine, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Commissioner Fuertes, I'll second.
Okay, that leaves, we don't have to go to staff report on it. We just go straight to vote. Anybody got anything to say about it? All right, call for the vote. Everybody in favor, raise your right hand. Carries 5-0. That moves us on to new business. Can I have, yeah, there you go. All right. Consideration possible action of a variance 23-18 variance from the minimum lot area in a residential estate redistrict. Public hearing, a request by Overland Surveyors Consortium, Inc., applicant on behalf of Yvonne Gazaris, Key IG, Inc., owner, for approval of the variance permitted in Section 2.4.2.2 C1 of the United Development Code, ordinance number 2000-T, to reduce the minimum lot area from 21,780 square feet to 17,082 square feet to allow the creation of a lot within the residential rezoning district described. General location, 1905 Hill House Road. Staff? Oh, motion for approval and, second.
Commissioner Fuertes, I'll make a motion to approve, and then I need a point of clarification in a second.
Commissioner Kuhn, I'll second the motion.
Before we get to staff report, um, what do we just do? The consent agenda, did that contain the two plats? Okay, because I didn't see it on the screen. I just want to make sure everybody knows that the two plats were approved first with the consent agenda, as well as the minutes and the attendance. Got it.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Chair and members of the Commission. On tonight's new business, we have a variance from Section 2.4.2.2C1 to reduce the minimum lot area from 21,780 square feet to 17,082 square feet, and the property is located in the residential estate district. The general location is on Hill House Road, and the intent is to build a single-family residential development. The property was first annexed into the city in 1994, and it had some buildings on it which have since been demolished. And so, as stated earlier, the property is located in the residential estate district, and this district supports the proposed single-family residential use. The underlying future land use is suburban residential, which is consistent with the proposed use of the site. On your screen is the proposed plat. You can see that there's been a dedication to Hill House Road, and the property owner is not intending to subdivide this lot, so this lot will exist in its current configuration. Staff has reviewed this variance based on the criteria outlined in the Unified Development Code and has determined that it meets all the criteria within the Unified Development Code. And so based on that, based on the fact that the property will be in its current configuration and there's no intent to subdivide, and there's also no opportunity to acquire additional land, staff is recommending approval of the requested variance. Thank you, and that concludes staff reports.
Is the applicant present? Do you wish to make a presentation? Okay. Is anybody from the want to speak for or against this proposal? Asking a second time, does anyone wish to speak for or against this proposal? Asking third and final time, anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal? Seeing none, we open it up to commission discussion.
To make sure I understand this, the reason for the variance is because they have dedicated through the platting process or this process, they've dedicated land at the request of the city for the right-of-way or the road, Hill House Road.
Yes, and so there is some dedication recorded in the deed for the dedication of right-of-way to Hill House Road, and so that is what is reflected on the plat.
I guess what I would recommend is when we do the UDC rewrite, Unified Development Code, it's our Bible, for lack of a better term. I would recommend that this be handled at the staff level, and or that actually if dedication for a right-of-way affects a property's zoning or a building to construct, that be taken into consideration, number one. Number two, if it affects the setback or anything like that, that also is taken into consideration, and there be a kind of an automatic variance granted. So hopefully when we review our rules, we can do that. And perhaps then the only time the planning and zoning would get involved, the commission would get involved, is if you all said no and they wanted to or wished to have a second chance at it or what have you, then we would be involved. Just a thought. Appreciate y'all coming out and going through the process.
Thank you. We will add that to the list and look into it during the rewrite.
Okay, let's call for the vote. Everybody in favor, raise your right hand.
I'm voting with Santa.
Everybody against, same sign. Seeing none, 5-0, carries. Brings us to staff update or discussion or whatever it's called. City Council update report. There you go.
So we don't have any updates. We will present the updates at the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Commissioner activity report. Anybody got anything to add? All right. Well, we're going to call this meeting at 6:40. Next P&Z regular meeting is December 18th. And we're going to call this meeting adjourned at 6:41.